ABS confirms that the census website was shut down because a malicious foreign hackers attacked the site. The big chiefs at the Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS, must be wondering if their time in the corner office might be up sooner than they thought. But fingers are also being pointed at a government minister, a US computer giant, and even a small IT firm from Melbourne. The ABS is now facing questions as to whether it was ever properly prepared for the online onslaught to the census website. The spotlight has fallen on the ABS's decision to virtualize the census servers. In 2014, IT giant IB was given a $9.6 million contract by the government agency to host the 2016 online census in order to ensure the expected high volumes would be properly managed, IT News reported. IB has been a long-term partner of the ABS and was awarded a $9 million deal in 2005 to develop the more limited opt-in online option for the previous censuses. At the time, the online census servers were hosted out of a data center in Sydney's Hills district in the city's northwest. But for 2016, it was decided to make use of a private cloud to handle the spike in data rather than using existing servers that would stand mostly idle in non-census years. The ABS virtualization project was successfully completed, providing a very efficient platform for ongoing ABS operations, including supporting a number of components of the digital census in 2016, an ABS spokesman told IT News in 2014. In hindsight, it seems obvious that if you tell 24 million people in a single country to all log on at once to the same website, things are going to start going downhill pretty quickly. But the sheer number of people logging on shouldn't have been an issue. From late December, Melbourne-based company Revolution IT was awarded a series of contracts with the ABS totaling almost $500,000 for load testing services for census. The company's website states, "We specialize in delivering successful projects to ensure your software works." Just yesterday, ABS census boss Chris Libreri was bullish all was well, telling News.com, the system performed well in load testing and would not be a repeat of the disastrous click frenzy sale of 2012. "We have load tested it at 150% of the number of people we think are going to be on it on Tuesday for 8 hours straight, and it didn't look like flinching," he said. "We wouldn't do it unless we were able to safely do it. We have evolved it and we are confident." Initially, the ABS was insistent that the massive fault at the heart of the 2016 census wasn't at their end. The trouble began about PM, as Australians returned from work and logged on, finding they couldn't many turned to Twitter for answers. First, the ABS replied the website was working just as expected. Then they shifted the fault back onto the public, suggesting the issue was probably people using out-of-date browsers, or maybe we were all typing in the wrong web address. Silly Australians. However, by PM, even the ABS had to admit Census 2016 had become sharp Census L when they shut down the entire site. This morning, the organization blamed a series of attacks by hackers that had caused Australia to go into a collective meltdown. Whatever occurred, the best laid plans, it appears, didn't work. Either the load testing and virtual servers didn't predict or handle the amount of people going online at once, or, if the hacking claims are proved correct, an outside force pushed the census, its systems and advanced testing beyond any reasonable operating capacity. On Wednesday morning, ABS chief statistician David Kalish told ABS the census website was shut down after being hacked. "It was an attack," he said. "It was quite clear it was malicious." Meanwhile, Labour has smelt blood and is calling for Small Business Minister Michael McCormack, who was responsible for the botched census, to resign. Shadow Assistant Treasurer Andrew Lee said the government failed to properly explain its decision to take the national survey online. If you can't get the census right, how can you govern the country? He told ABS Radio on Wednesday. Mr. Lee also warned the quality of the data could be compromised if Australians filled out their forms days, or even weeks, after Census Day. People will, when they go back to fill it in again, have that sense of anger and frustration, and maybe they want to be as careful and methodical filling out their census for the second time. And to think the biggest issues with the census up to PM last night was whether or not to include your full name and address. With